Welcome to the review of Fear Street Part 2. So what's going on, everybody? My name is Leo Rydell, and welcome to Geekly Goods, where we talk the latest in movies, TV, anime, with a little sprinkle of gaming, guys. I am so excited today to talk about Fear Street Part 2, the second part to the Fear Street trilogy. And unfortunately, I didn't get to actually review Part 1. I did end up seeing Part 1 a little bit later and didn't get the chance to review it, but I did really enjoy that first part a lot. And I'm delighted to say the second one is good as well. So what's Fear Street Part 2 about? Fear Street Part 2 takes place in Shadyside, 1978. School's out for the summer and the activities at Camp Nightwing are about to begin. But when another Shadysider is possessed with the urge to kill, the fun in the sun becomes a gruesome fight for survival. The second part stars Sadie Sink, Emily Rudd, Ryan Simpkins, Jillian Jacobs, Matthew Zuck, Kiana Madeira, and more. And guys, I gotta say, really had a fun time. I had a fun time in the first one. I had a really fun time in the second one, and I really enjoyed it. So let's talk about what works for this movie. So starting off with what works, the setting. The setting is a very well-known setting in horror. Friday the 13th, campsite, boom. This is the perfect horror setting. It builds very well throughout the movie, gets more and more creepy as we see more and more creepy things, aka a killer. I won't go too far because of course I can't spoil, but man, this was awesome. This had a really good twist. I really dug that setting, and I think it just really helped out on another strength in this movie, which was the music. The music was incredible. The score was creepy. It was chilling. It went along incredibly well with what was going on with the killer and a curse. Again, can't say too much, but if you've seen that first part, you kind of know where I'm going here. And also the story, as it progresses, it gets more and more bone chilling, but they also have some really cool needle drops, some late 70s, early 80s tunes that are just incredible and very recognizable. So very well done in the music department. Big kudos there. The setting is incredible, making the production design very good as well. Like I said, the cabin and the setting just gets spookier and spookier as the movie goes on, and it really helps with the characters and with the story as it continues to progress. Let's go to another good point, and that is the crazy gore. Look, they got this right in the first installment. Now in the second one, they even have more gore than that first one a little bit. Now I will say the first one was a little more creative with some of those kills, but the second one is even crazier, and they go even heavier in my opinion with some of the killing. Kudos on that. They get the gore correct for a horror movie in this time period. Well done on that set, well done on the music, the gores, and there's just a lot, guys. There's a lot that really works here. And again, I really do like the characters in this movie a lot, but I like the characters in the first part a little bit more. I think the characters in the first part were all very enjoyable, so it made the kills even more sad and shocking when some of the characters in that first part ended up not making it to the end. But wow, this, I would say there are a few very enjoyable characters, but all in all, I would say there's not as big of an enjoyable group as there was in the first part. And then in the first part, I think it just really depends on your horror preferences, because the first part was very much like Scream. This is very reminiscent of Friday the 13th, and for me, I definitely would choose Scream over the Friday the 13th. I know a lot of people are gonna go crazy over that opinion, but that's just me. I do really love that setting of the camp, but unfortunately, it does kind of hurt itself a little bit in the middle of the movie when characters are at a bit of a standstill, and I feel that it drags the story down a little bit. The story that was really ramping up and just getting to the tip of the top of where it was going to go kind of gets bogged down a little bit when we revisit these characters who are exploring this cave, and that's all I'm gonna go into because I don't want to go too far. But I will say that the story just gets a little bit bogged down, but the themes of family and losing it all but still retaining that relationship and the beauty of family are really well depicted here. And I just love the relationship between the two sisters of the story. I think it's strong, and I think it really transcends most of the other characters, because to be honest with you, a lot of the other characters characters aren't that memorable, but those two sisters were absolutely awesome. If I had to give a rating to Fear Street Part 2, I would go a 7.5 out of 10. I gave the first part an 8 out of 10. I just thought it was a pinch better in my opinion. But again, I think these are all gonna boil down to what you like better in terms of horror, because they all pretty much have a horror movie that they are heavily inspired off of. So it's really gonna depend on your taste in horror, guys. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that big red subscribe button for the latest videos, and we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.